Welcome back to Taco Bowler Gaming. My name is Taco Bowler, and we're going to continue the tutorial for Europa Universalis 4. And in this episode, we're going to be looking at the Diplomacy tab. Now, I'm playing this one as the Ottomans, just because it has a lot of things around, and we will be the Ottomans for a few episodes here. So, to find the Diplomacy tab, you have a couple of options. Number one, you can go to whatever country you're hoping to interact with and right-click anything on their country, and it will bring up the Diplomacy tab. Or you can go up here to the country view, and it is the third tab, the little piece stub here. Now, when you first see it, you'll either see this screen or you will see your own country. You can go down here to this button and find your own country, and it'll bring you back. There are a lot of things you can do on this tab. It's one of the most important tabs in the game. So we're going to go through a little bit what you can do. First things is you set your rivals on your Diplomacy tab. So here with the Ottomans, we're just going to get rid of that thing here. I like to have someone who's near me in strength. That's always a good one. And then just people who are weaker than me. That's solid and good, and that'll be fine. If you have the appropriate DLC, forget which one it is, but you can mark provinces of interest. It'll be the third tab over here. I don't have any of the DLCs activated because this is intended to be a vanilla tutorial, at least for a little while. So when you get to another nation, the Diplomacy tab has a lot of information for you. Over here you can see the religion of the nation. So Byzantium is Orthodox. We are Sunni. Wallachia is Orthodox. Hungary is Catholic, etc. There are some other let's see if I can find a. That is Sunni. Probably Ardabil is Shia. So here is another nation here. The religion, a different religion is Ibadi. Those are all the Muslim religions at the start of the game. We have Coptic, such as Ethiopia. So there's a lot of things there, but you can see at a glance what religion they are. That sometimes it matters, sometimes it doesn't. We have their ruler stats, and then their heir, if they have an heir. If you're Christian, that matters a whole lot more than anyone else. If they have an heir, you can see their government rank. You can see the technology group. I pretty much never pay attention to those. You don't need to. Here you can see their opinion of us, which is currently -42, as well as our opinion of them. In order to ally someone, they have to be willing to do it, but you also have to have a positive opinion of them, and there's not really much you can do about that. You can see a few things here that don't matter too much. The promoted culture slots don't matter for anyone else. You don't need to worry about that. Policies that they have, if they have any active policies, we'll get to that in another episode, but another part of this tutorial. But if they have any active policies, presumably that shows up on the tooltip. I haven't really ever worried about that. Our spy network size, if we were building a spy network on them, it would show up over here. So you don't need to worry about that there. Their stability, that's kind of important to know, whether they're about to have rebel problems or not, but it doesn't really matter. Their prestige. The main ones over here that you care about are their ideas. So we'll get to ideas in another group as well, similar to the policies, another part of this tutorial. But this would show us in a drop-down what their ideas are and what benefits they can have from their traditions right here. So that's kind of important to know in later game what they're doing, where they are. And then these three, especially their military technology. You can see where they are in technology, but especially I want to know their military technology. Just so that in case I were like 5, if they were still 3, that would be a really big deal. The main things that you're going to worry about, though, these are just important things to look at. You can kind of see at a glance. The main things you're going to worry about is their opinion of me, and these things here, as well as the rivals and enemies. So, if I am looking ahead in my missions, I know I need to own Constantinople. Okay. Who might help me with that? Well, Byzantium has enemies. Byzantium owns Constantinople. They have enemies. They have an enemy in Serbia, Genoa, and Venice. Perhaps Venice would like me. Um, they have a negative 42 opinion of me because we were at war right before the game started. But they're willing to trust me a little bit. Maybe I could get them to ally me if I could get them happier. So that's kind of a thing perhaps there. Maybe Venice isn't the best one. Let's try one maybe I wasn't at war with, such as a Genoa or a Serbia. Genoa has a negative 27 opinion of me. They want my provinces, but maybe I could get them more easily. In fact, I could. If I improved relations with Genoa by the full 100%, I could make them an ally. That's kind of the thing. The way to go. If I want to attack, say, Mamluks. Mamluks is a big-time enemy of mine. We're going to have problems. They are rivaled to me, as well as Timurid and Quora Koyunlu, which I just call QQ here. So, perhaps the Timurid would ally me. In fact, they're very, very close. Again, probably could get that with just some improved relations. Quora QQ, as it is, would ally me right now. So one way to find your allies, if you don't have the DLC that makes it nice and easy for you, it should be included in the base game, but that's a different problem. Then one way to do that is to just look for where am I going to expand, what are some of my big enemies that I'm going to have to fight, who are their enemies, right? The enemy of my enemy is my friend, so something you care about there. I've dropped down here. Alliance actions is one of the things here. There are a couple of things you can do for alliances in the base game. You can form a coalition against or offer an alliance. We will talk more about coalitions in a later part coming up soon when we talk about wars. But for the most part, the Offer Alliance tab is for alliances, right? You want to have the biggest nations that you can. That is determined by the ledger down here, and specifically the military tab and the armies tab, the force limit here. But, you know, general rule of thumb for beginners, the bigger the country size, more or less is a little bit, you know, on that way. Obviously, Aragon is bigger than, say, Hungary. Austria is actually bigger than Hungary because they're the emperor. If you go over here to the Holy Roman Emperor, this nation, which you can click, left click that time. Actually, right click might work too. Okay, so right click would bring up diplomacy. They hate me because I rivaled them, but that would be always a good, strong ally if you can get it, because they actually get bonuses from that. So I'm going to go in here, I'm going to offer an alliance and say yes, and then we'll worry about something a little bit later. Let's see, the next thing is influence actions. So if you have someone who has a 100 opinion of you, a plus 100 opinion of you, and they are at war, then you can come in and enforce peace against the nation leading the war against them. Probably never, there are very few situations that you can use this, but it is one way to get to war. Offer vassalization is a neat one. I highly doubt there's going to be anyone who would accept that or be close at this early point in the game. Oh, these guys would be close. So Ramazan here is very close to us. They like us. So if I wanted to, I could probably get them to join my nation for free via this offer vassalization. They would swear fealty to me and become my vassal. It's not a terrible idea. You can then integrate them later, which we'll get into down here. So I'm going to let a day go by. You cannot offer two alliances on the same day because, again, enemy of my enemy is my friend, but also friend of my enemy is my enemy. So by allying QQ, all of QQ's enemies now don't want to ally me, and so they don't want you to be able to cheese that. So you can't offer an alliance on 2 straight days. It has to update that information. But we'll go ahead and do that just so we have one going there. Now, if I wanted to, I cannot send any diplomat for a month. So it's November 12th in the game. 1444, and so I can't send anyone until 1 month has passed. So December 13th, I can send another diplomat to Ramazan. But I can always send that third diplomat I have. You can see here, this one is going to take 16 days to return from QQ. This one's taking 8 days to return from Ramazan. You see they're closer to my capital. My capital for the Ottomans is right here in Erdene. So let's see here. I can proclaim a guarantee. So the Ottomans actually start with a guarantee of Ragusa. And what that does is that if anyone tried to attack Ragusa, I would get a call that says, hey, someone's trying to attack me. I need defense, and I might come to their defense. Interestingly, Venice has done this to Albania at the beginning of the game. So if I were to try and declare war on Albania, Venice would get a call to say, hey, I need defense, and they can honor that or not. So you can see with Albania, I can proclaim a guarantee. With Ragusa, it's already there, so it would be revoke guarantees in the same spot. This gives plus 10 opinion with that country. But, isn't really that big. I don't usually use it, with the exception of I will use it to get offer vassalization possible. But other than that, I don't really ever use that. In fact, if I were playing as the Ottomans, I would revoke this, because the nation doing the guaranteeing actually uses up a relationship slot for this. The nation that is guaranteed does not. But I would just get rid of this if I were playing the full game as the Ottomans. The next thing you can do is you can send a warning. Apparently, you have to be far more powerful than that country to do so, but you can send a warning. So let's find someone to warn. Let's see. AQ likes us. Akquayonlu. They like us, but we're going to send them a warning. I hardly ever do this as well, but we're going to do it anyway. And that does give a minus 10. And what that does is essentially, if they declare war on anybody, then we get a call to defend that country, I think. Yeah, will call us to war should they attack one of our neighbors. So if they decide to declare on Dokadir or Trebizond, then we would then get a call to war. I don't think they're going to do that, and if they did, we'll just deny it. So now I need diplomats to do anything else, so we're going to speed forward these few days here, and then we'll get on to the next things. Okay. So the next things would be relations. So you can improve relations with a country, or you can send an insult to a country. It is a good idea to send an insult to your rivals, especially some of the rivals that perhaps you are stronger than. So we will send an insult to Hungary. This will degrade our relations by 50 and gives them a casus belli against us, which is one reason why I don't really want to insult the Mamluks, because they had plus 8% more troops than us, while Hungary was minus 40%, They had a lot fewer troops than us, so we're going to insult them because this does give them a reason to go to war with us. But it's rarely used. And then I'm going to look other places. We can ally Crimea, but there was a nation here, Timurid, who I thought maybe would ally us. Venice, what was this? Let's try and get a good, strong alliance with the Timurid. So I'm going to improve relations with them and see if I can't turn this from negative 63 and 29 on up, as well as Venice was. There was one that was really close. I forget which one it was. Maybe Wallachia? No. Serbia? I don't know. Oh well, we won't worry about it. We'll see if we can turn that around. If not, that's okay. And then, let's see. So that's the relations and the insult. Let's see, dynastic actions, you can royal marry people. The royal marriage does take up a slot here, diplomatic relations, even if you don't have any other relationship with them. So typically you only want to royal marry your vassals or your allies. So since I have already sent a thing to them to do this, I cannot send another for another month. But we are going to get a spy network going. No, let's just go the month, and we're going to. So we get a CB against our rivals at the month tick. All right. So QQ, I'm going to royal marry them. Royal marriages are extremely important for Christians especially, but they're nice for even Muslim nations. They give you a chance of a new heir plus 5%, but for Sunni that doesn't matter. It does improve relations more. The more royal marriages you have, the better you can improve relations, or the faster, I should say. And your legitimacy goes up as well. So you can see right now it changes by 0.59 every year. When I get a royal marriage, which they have accepted, it now goes up, well, by 0.59 still. Maybe in the monthly tick, but that'll change. But that goes up faster in theory, at least. We will begin improving relations with Ramazan. That's important, I think. And then I have to get my diplomat back to do anything else, so we're going to go here. Let's talk about, though, Claim Throne is something that is a mechanic of Christian nations. If so, everyone has a dynasty. So Osmanlı here is my dynasty for the Ottomans. There are ways throughout this game where your dynasty can go onto someone else's throne. And let's see if I can find the dynasty map mode in all of this. Dynastic, here we go. So the von Habsburgs here. Okay, so here we go. De Valois is here in France, but it is also in Provence. So France has King Charles the 7th, De Valois. So their dynasty is De Valois. And here in Provence, we see Duke René I, De Valois. So if they had a royal marriage and neither one had an heir, then one of them, the one with the heir, could, one of them didn't have an heir, the one with an heir could claim the throne. It's not something that's available to Muslim nations like the Ottomans, but that is how you get a personal union. That button is here. Probably don't have to worry about it too much, but we're just kind of explaining all the buttons in this part of the tutorial. Let's go to Covert Actions. For Covert Actions, the primary thing you do here is you build a spy network. You need spy network in order to do any of the other things. There are a lot of more things in Covert Actions that have been added with DLC, but here we have a spy network. So we're going to build that on Byzantium because I know that I want to have a claim on Constantinople. Each month you are trying to build a spy network. It goes up by 1.49. And so if you hover over that, there on the diplomat side, you can find out how much is going up. That is impacted by different things, such as the spy network detection in Byzantium. In the target nation, how far away are they from your nearest province, things like that. As you go up, you risk being discovered. I think you have to be over 25 to have any risk of discovery, and the higher you go, the more you risk being discovered. You need 20 to fabricate a claim, and for the most part, that's all you're really going to be doing. The first claim is 20, the second claim is 25, the third claim is 30, so on and so on. And you can only claim a province that borders you either by land or by sea. So I can claim Constantinople, I can claim everything on Byzantium, but I couldn't claim, say, Theodoro, because I don't have any way of bordering them. You can kind of see the tile here, and so I would have to have something Actually, I probably could do Theodoro, so let's say Crimea. You can see this little bit here is on the eastern Black Sea. I have a province on the eastern Black Sea, so I could do Theodoro, but I could not do Crimea. This is a border here. So the sea is at Azov. I don't have anything there. I don't have anything on the Gulf of Odessa, so I couldn't claim Crimea, even if I had a spy network over there. So I hope that makes sense. Let's see if what else is here. Okay, so economic actions. Let's go ahead and pull back from the Timurids for a moment. Okay, so sometimes if you don't send a royal marriage offer to your ally will send a royal marriage offer to you. Like I said, usually it's a great idea to royal marry any of your allies if you have the opportunity. Oh, yes, so that updated now, so now you can see it goes up by 0.7 instead of 0.59. If we accept, it will go up again even more on the next monthly tick. Let's get that diplomat back. So France and England are at war. You can see how quickly that event can fire in-game. Alright, so I can issue economic actions. You want to issue an embargo with your rivals. You can't do so while you have a truce. Hungary and the Ottomans went to war prior to the game's start, and so I have a truce with them until January of 1450. We'll do more about that in our war episodes. So I can't issue an embargo with them, but I can with Austria, so I will issue an embargo there. I have a province that has unrest. If I wanted to, I could issue an embargo on other nations, like, say, Venice. Venice was the one, maybe? I don't know. I have truce with Venice, so I couldn't embargo Venice. I can issue an embargo against Albania. What this does is it essentially says that you can't trade, or diminishes the power of their traders anywhere where we are as well. So the main thing, you don't really need to worry about it, but for instance, we have 9% in Ragusa, so we could reduce the Albanian power because we have power here. Definitely reduce it over here. If I were to do that on Albania, however, I would get this notification called Costly Trade Embargo. Basically, if you embargo a nation that is not your rival, then it costs you money. But if you embargo a nation that is your rival, it does not cost you any money. So you want to embargo your rivals. You typically don't want to embargo anyone else. There's a few cases where you want to embargo other people, but not very many cases. So as soon as I can, I'm going to revoke that embargo. The next thing that you can do is you can send a gift, and this improves relations. So if you have a small nation you're trying to, which Ramazan, which we are going to send a gift to because I'm trying to get their relation up, it's 25 is the max you can improve relations with a gift, and it only takes one gift of 25. You go up by 25 per click. It only takes one gift of 25 ducats in order to get that full 25. So we'll send them that gift, and already you can see we have the same religion, we have royal marriages, we have alliance, we've improved our relations, we've sent a gift, and you can see how far up this total has gone. However, if I were to try and improve the opinion of a larger nation, like, say, the Timurid, a gift of 25 goes a lot less, 4, and I have to spend way more, 150, to get the full 25. If I wanted to, let's see that, oh, I can see Ming, wow. The Ottomans are crazy map-wise. If I wanted to improve with Ming, 25 got me nothing, right? I gave them all the money I had, 250 ducats, I only get 7. So sending a gift is certainly something you want to do if either you literally just want to send a gift, like if I wanted France to win this war against England, one way I could help them was to just send them money. You send them a lot of money and they can use that there. But if you want to send a gift for opinion, you really want to send it with smaller nations like a Karaman, which only has these 5 provinces. Obviously Ramazan has the 1 there. You want to try and do that, right? The next one is loan offer. So let's go ahead and go to France here. I could offer them a loan. I never use this, so I don't really know how much it is here. But you can offer them a loan at, let's say, 4% interest. They would accept this loan, so I could pay them 53 ducats now. They'll have to pay me that back plus 4% interest. Sure, let's test out that mechanic. And then it takes 20 days to give back here. And when it comes back, that's good. We will go down here to Ramazan. On the 15th of April, I can give them stuff. So let's see. Give subsidies. So let's go to here to give subsidies. This one I use a lot. There's two ways you can use give subsidies, which is one, to get opinion. You can have a maximum of 15. It will go up by 0.61 per year. If I give more money, it goes up by more. So if I give this small nation, it's similar to a gift. The larger the nation, the more money you have to give to matter. 0.51 ducats a month for 10 years. It goes up by 3.09 per year up to 15. So this will eventually go up, right? Receiving subsidies. It's currently improving our relations nothing, but in a year it will have improved it by 3. That can be very powerful. The other way to do that is if you do already have a vassal, you can give them a lot of money and they'll be even stronger through that subsidy tab, and it makes the vassal like you more. So one thing is there, and that's the next idea here, would be that nations will sometimes come calling, asking you for military access through your lands to allow their troops to go through. In this case, they're fighting Genoa. Genoa has these provinces over here, so they want to come through my lands. You can decline it. You can accept it. It's up to you what you want to do there. I usually, if they're at war, I'll accept it. If they're not at war, I'll decline it. But like Byzantium might have asked me so that they could march between Constantinople and their provinces down here in Greece, but I would not have allowed that, because then they're just trying to march through all the time. But if you're at war, okay. So if I accept, they might well send their troops marching right on through my land over to get over here. So we could see a Castilian troop go over here, and actually we could see anyone involved in that war will now have access to my lands. But it is what it is. Let's see, I had one more thing I needed to do. Sell a province. So let's see if anyone wants a province of mine. Caraman. Sell a province. If I wanted to sell, say, Tiki, you can sell it for an amount of money. Obviously, if you have lower money, the more more likely they're going to accept. You can see if they're going to accept or not. So if I wanted, I could sell Caraman Tiki for 48 gold, and it results in inflation. We'll worry about that another day. But I could sell that, confirm, and it goes to them. I get 48 gold, they get that province. Pretty simple stuff. The last thing is access. So let's go back to our stuff. So if you offer military access to someone, then that does not give you a relation. It gives you they allow us military access plus 10, but it does not show up as a diplomatic relation. So you can offer access to anyone, and in fact, right now Castile has that, right? Because they asked for it. So they actually have that with me. However, if I want to ask for military access from someone, like, say, Kandar, let's go ahead and wait for that diplomat to come back. Then some nations, they don't want to have military access through me. They would rather do that. But some nations will deny it, right? Serbia, they don't like me, so they're not going to let me march through their lands. But Kandar likes me. They have a plus 14. they're more than happy to let me march through their lands, so I'm going to ask for it, and that actually does, you can see down there, military access. So even though I have no other relationships with them, that counts as one of my diplomatic relations. So you really want to watch that. But now I can, if I want to, I could march my troops, Earth to computer, there we go, right on over here, but I could not march them to Caraman. We're going to leave the troops here. We're having issues. There we go. Let's see. We have our diplomat back. The other one is fleet basing rights. So, fleet basing rights is similar to military access, except it's for navies, and it costs us. So, based on the size of the country, Ramazan at 0.5, not that much. I don't know if there's going to be anyone willing to do it who's bigger. At least not yet. 0.5, but it can get up to like 2 for some larger nations per month. And I believe that it does not do a diplomatic relation. Okay. And then you can offer fleet basing rights. Almost no one ever accepts that. So that is what you can do on this tab here. I'm going to speed up just to get a few months in, and we can fabricate our claims and things and do the remaining bit with this. So in order to get the vassalization, I have to have plus 190. They have to like me that much. They may not be able to hit there. I may not actually be able to get this. So you can see they're being stubborn to do that. It is possible that selling that province mattered to doing that, but you know, it is what it is. So the final thing here, so if this were positive, which I had hoped it would be, and I had an alliance with a country and they had 190 opinion of me, then I could click offer vassalization and they would become my vassal. That didn't happen with them. Fine. The last thing I want to show you is fabricating a claim. There's 2 ways to fabricate a claim. One is to just click on the province, so left click on the province, and then left click on this fabricate claim button, and that'll fabricate a claim if you have the spy network necessary. The other way is to go to the Covert Actions and you can fabricate a claim. There's other things you do, don't ever worry about them. Just fabricate a claim, and we need 20 to do that, and so then every province you can fabricate a claim on comes up. For Byzantium, that's 3 here. Constantinople, Achaea, and Morea. Athens is a vassal of Byzantium. So if I wanted to fabricate a claim on the province of Athens, I have to spy on their overlord, Byzantium, and then spend the claim for there. However, even if I had a claim on all 3 of these, it would not be a 4th claim. This would count as a 1st claim against that country of Athens. So it would only be 20. But we will fabricate a claim on Constantinople. So I hope that this has made sense to you. And that is the diplomacy in EU4. That is a tab you will get to know very, very well. So refer back to this as needed. But I have been Thic Borders, and have a good one.